I need water. Help me. I need water. Help. And this is on live television. When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water. Help me. I need water. Help. And this is on live television. This total joke artist. It's Rubio. Rubio. It's Rubio. It's Rubio. It's Rubio. It's Rubio. It's Rubio. Help me. I need water. Let me just tell you, I get along with everybody, which is my obligation to my company, to myself, etc. Obviously, the war in Iraq is a big, fat mistake, all right? Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful?
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole. Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole.
Yo, 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 what the fuck is popping, everybody? Holy Macintosh, dude. Holy shit. Don't look at my hair. Don't look at my hair. Don't do it, dude. Don't look at my hair. Okay? Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. Alright. I haven't streamed in a while. I haven't streamed in a long time. I've had one hell of a week. Y'all, I have had one hell of a week. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you. Let me put my jewelry on. So I just woke up. Yeah, so first of all, I haven't done a podcast in a week because I got a strike. And you would know that if you followed me on Twitter and if you were in my Discord. So, throwing that out there. Hello, Kathleen. I know, I think I respond. I'm sorry if I didn't really read comments too much over the last week. But you would know that if you were in my Discord, or if you followed me on Twitter, or anything else besides YouTube. So like, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm just like throwing this out there. You should high key follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's just going to be useful for you as a practice. It's going to give you the latest and greatest information. My arms are stripy. That's correct. That's correct. So because it's been a week since I've done one of these, and I don't have any stories lined up, this is going to be a very atypical above it all. Let's talk about the idea that I had a mandatory suspension with pay for a week before the election. Can we talk about that? Like, what the fuck, right? A week before the election and I get fucking dinged? For those of you that don't know, I covered a story last week about Utah, and I'm not going to talk about it in any other context because I don't know what the robots are listening to me. But needless to say, I've done a lot of research, and it appears that there may be issues with the algorithm when it comes to declaring what is and what is not a COVID conspiracy. So I have made the executive decision that I will no longer be talking about coronavirus on YouTube. So just throwing that out there. We all know what the problems are. If you want to go look up that information, you can do so. And I will maybe give you ways to look up that information, things to track. But I will no longer be talking about coronavirus on YouTube. It's just not safe to do so. And at this point, I feel like everyone already knows what is going on. That, I don't know, like, I feel like there's nothing, I didn't gain anything from talking about Utah's hospitalization rates. I gained nothing, other than just trying to report the news. And I lost a week's worth of pay, so, well, technically I didn't, but, you know, I would have made more money if I were making YouTube videos every day, let me just tell you. But today's election day. So this is again, this is like, I'm just kind of like, this is a free flow right here. This is what this is. This is a free flow. I've got no stories open. And there's been so much happening this last week, and I was thinking, like, I would cover everything, but it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. Fuck it, right? Whatever. But today's the election. I voted a couple days ago. I voted, I want to say I voted, like, last Wednesday or something. I live in North Carolina. For those of you that don't know. So I woke up today, and there's someone in my family that is a QAnon person. And I'm not here to, you know, stamp on anyone. Even though they don't watch my content, you know, just throwing that out there. So fuck them. But there is one person in my household who is a QAnoner. And this has been a development that's been kind of getting more and more serious over the last year. And, you know, you'd be thinking, right? Like, oh shit, someone in their family is a professional YouTube podcaster that studies conspiracy theories every single day. So, I'm obviously well equipped to handle dealing with a family member who believes that Kamala Harris is a secret pedophile or something. Needless to say, we had about an hour-long argument that resulted in them saying that it's okay that Trump raped people because they were just a double agent. They didn't say that verbatim, but that was the basic idea. That when Trump rapes people, it's fine because he's doing it to get the edge on. He's doing it to figure things out. He's going in there. That's how you got Epstein. You got to go in there, molest a few kids, and then all of a sudden Epstein goes down. So, needless to say, my frustration levels, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe that people can be better. So I'm not gonna be a little bit too rude. I just really hope that the next couple months don't result in problems. Hello, I am Sudan. Looks like you have gained 0 IQ points in the last week. That's impressive. Personally, I've gained a lot of IQ points. How long will the stream be today, Cloud? I will be streaming all day. I'm doing Above It All right now. Don't worry about that. Skeletino. I will be doing Above It All right now. It's currently happening. And I will be doing some other live streams after this. Today I will be playing Ancient Aliens, the Doom 2 WOD, because I played Ancient Aliens 4 years ago on election night. And so I'll be doing that once again. That's going to be in 4 years from now. In 4 years from now, I'll be playing Ancient Aliens. So that's going to be happening. We're also going to do God Damn It. God Damn It right now is scheduled for 8 o'clock. But really, it's as soon as possible. How did what turn out, Devin? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I'm going to be streaming on and off all day. But like, yeah, so God Damn It will basically happen ASAP. But 8 p.m. at the latest. If I can get my co-host on there at 7, then we'll do 7, but 8 p.m. the latest. And that's when shit's going to start getting good. Playing the game on election night. What, Ancient Aliens? I don't know. I'm pretty well. I got a personal best, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, because it's been a week since I've done one of these Above It Alls, I want to announce that I started putting my podcasts on Anchor FM. Skeletino, we will update you on that. Don't worry. Go back and watch the previous videos if you need an update or if you need to get your context here. But yeah, so I started putting Above It All on a website called Anchor FM, and I will post the link in the description. This is audio versions of each one of my podcasts, including last week's that has been removed from YouTube. So if you want to watch 1009, you can go watch it or listen to it on Anchor, which is a partnership platform with Spotify. And according to them, it takes a couple of weeks or whatever, but they can get it on Apple as well. So I've got my podcasts going on. They're going up. You know, they're looking good. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now on the webcam, I am rolling a CBD based, a legal hemp-based cone. Because I'm going to be needing a lot of CBD today. As you can see, I've got CBD right here. As you can see, this is my official, don't report me or anything. This is a legal substance. Hello, Will D. Just popping in to say hi. Welcome back. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Felix, I will not be talking about coronavirus on YouTube anymore. So, that's basically all you need to know. But yeah, another thing with Anchor is that if you listen to the episodes on there, I get paid. So, throwing that out there, you know, if you want to like have anything, you know, on maybe on autoplay, you know, like in your car, you know, you leave your car on overnight and just have the radio on linked up to my podcast or whatever. If you want to do that, you're welcome to. I would not recommend it as I cannot do so legally, but you're welcome to do whatever you want, you know. But all I know is I get paid for every play that each of my podcasts get. So throwing that out there, giving you that information. Well, I'm not being drug tested, Devin. I'm not being drug tested. I'm just making sure that people on the platform that I'm on know that I'm not breaking any laws. Hello, Bodan. What's poppin'? I think I already said hello to you. Maybe I missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed your post. Trump complained that because there are mailing ballots, we will not find out the winner on election night. Yes. I'm going to be staying up all night. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Yeah. The last week, even though I haven't been doing anything, I have been reading the news. I know what Trump is doing. Kavanaugh's SCOTUS opinion. It's all very alarming. Today is the day that we've all been preparing for. At least for me, I've been preparing for this day since February 19th, 2019. That's when Bernie started his campaign. So I've been preparing for this day for at least 2 years-ish. And I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready to rumble. We have no idea when the election results will come in. We have no idea. Baku, did you vote in Wisconsin? What's going on in Wisconsin? Baku, you are our official Wisconsin representative. Baku is from Wisconsin. There was a report a couple days ago that said Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia are going to be like the most dangerous states for potential militia activity. So, stay safe, Baku. Stay safe. Obsidian Monolith. Interesting username. Did you decide? I voted for Biden. I know you changed your mind a couple times. Dude, okay, I just want to say, for the record, and I want this to be etched into the record, I had every single day up until the election a I've changed my mind video planned. Unfortunately, the last one I was able to do was Hillary Clinton. The next one after Hillary Clinton I was going to do was Kamala Harris. Also on my list was Hunter Biden. Also on my list was Andrew Yang, hashtag still voting Yang, hashtag math. I think I had Elizabeth Warren on there as well. Obviously, we will never be able to get my potential comedic genius, because of unfortunate circumstances. But let me just tell you, Jesse Ventura was on the list as well. That was also on the list. I could open up the list. Let me look. Might as well open up the list. Let's get that list out. Yeah, I guess I named everyone. Okay. Because I was going to do up until today. I was going to do another one today, but you know, what are you going to do? Yeah, Bodan, I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to be honest. Anyone that took those videos seriously, like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I had a couple people, tremendous people. Tremendous people. I please bear with me, but I have to. I have to.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please, for the love of God, don't hold that against me. It was just... But really, I mean, come on, man. Come on. If y'all think I would change my mind on this election a couple days before the election, come on, man. I'm sorry. But, I don't know. I want to do more comedy. That's my thing, is I got a whole new breed of subscribers that only know me for news. You know, I want to be more funny. So that was kind of my attempt at doing so. But yeah, so. But yeah, this is above it all. 1010. It's a good ep so far. You're laughing at myself. Dude, Bodan, you got really mad. You left me like 3 comments. Do you mind if I read them? Hold up. Do you mind if I like just go read those? You left it a couple on like the Donald Trump one that were like really funny. I'm just gonna like read those. Okay, so you ready? Oh, now you don't care about climate change because you won't live that long. And who were telling us all the time that we should think about our future and our planet? Wasn't that you? How about starting with yourself? I'm so disappointed in you. What a tremendous waste of my time. Tremendous. I love it. At first, I thought this was a joke, but then you emailed me, so I was like, yeah, I'll probably let you know on email. Jesus Christ, though.
Hi.
Oh my God. I've got a bunch of people that like would post like spam YouTube links in here. It's really weird, really strange stuff. One of the things I love about I changed my mind for Donald Trump was I got a lot of people. Like, let me read this. This is Chris Sanders, someone I've done a podcast with. All right, so check this out. I couldn't believe this, so I had to watch this video with my mom. Hats off to you. Very nice video. It took guts to upload. And then they posted like 18 clap emojis. I'm not even joking. So this is Chris Sanders, also known as Stretch. I've done like 4 podcasts with him. I should post the rest of the videos after the election anyways. I should. I really should, Baku. Because they were good videos. Like, why I'm voting for Andrew Yang, that was going to be a good one. Why I'm voting for Andrew Yang was going to be a good one. Yeah, I know, Bodan. I don't want to read them all, though, because they're pretty long. They're pretty long. Oh, my God. Jesus. It's so funny. I love you, heart emoji. Wow, you finally see the light. I usually would voted for Democrats, but it's just not the same. The taxes will go high under Biden, and way, way more immigrants, 700% increase. It's too many, Trump used to be loved up until he became president. In what world, by the way? Obama killed Gaddafi. I was like, wow, why? That is from Paul G. On my video, I've changed my mind. Why an Antifa supporter will vote for Trump in the 2020 election. That is Paul G. And Paul G decided to be a reply guy for a bunch of other people, which is just really funny. Go back and look at the comments, man. The Democrats are just too insane for me to vote for them this year. So I got a potion here. A little potion. I got myself some Mountain Dew. Just for reference, today I am going to be streaming all day, in case you're new here. I'm doing Above It All, right now. And I'm going to be playing through the entirety of Ancient Aliens, the Doom WOD. After this show. And that will take about 4, maybe 5 hours. And after that, I will be streaming God Damn It with my co-host, Chukamadimum. And we will be going in at around 8 p.m. So, I will not be able to get David Feldman on. I'm sorry. You're going to have to watch the Majority Report either instead of me or tomorrow. I plan on watching it tomorrow, personally. But you have to choose, Mr. Freak. Who do you choose? David Feldman or me? Right? Who do you choose? I don't know. You can make that decision yourself. Bodan, we are fucked. This country, not you, not we as in us. You're over there, right? You're fine. You're probably not fine. But we in the United States, we're fucked. We're fucked. Like, okay, I want to spend this because I was just talking to my family member who is a full-blown Q person at this point. Even though they say they don't know who Q is, they repeat all the Q talking points. And that's one thing that we have to be, like, we have to be extremely serious about this. Now I could, like, you know, go into this person's room in my household and scream at them and tell them that I hate them. I could do that, but I'm not going to. And we had a conversation for about 45 minutes, and Baku, you can only guess. You can only guess. You get Nick in here. Baku, what the fuck? Get Nick in here. Get him in here. Come on. But dude, holy shit, man. Like, I don't know what we're going to be able to do about QAnon people after Donald Trump goes. Cuz this shit, he's at work on election day? What? This shit is like so deeply ingrained into people's minds that like Democrats are evil and that like Nancy Pelosi is like Satan incarnated, and it's like it's okay that Donald Trump does anything because Nancy Pelosi is a woman and therefore she's wrong at all times, right? Like, this is like a bizarre thing that we're gonna deal with the repercussions for this for a long time. A long time. This isn't gonna go away. Baku, tell him to get into my stream ASAP, by the way. Like, I need to have Nick here on election night. That's required. But yeah. You don't just go, like, years thinking that Democrats are going to kill your children, and then Trump loses, and then you just did, like, that just goes away. The next 4 years, regardless of who wins, is going to be a clusterfuck. Now, if it's a clusterfuck, and we get a $15 minimum wage out of it, okay, that's better than a clusterfuck where we don't get a $15 minimum wage. Hey, Quincy. If it's a clusterfuck and DACA recipients manage to be able to stay in the country, that's a better version of a clusterfuck. If it's a clusterfuck and marijuana gets decriminalized, it'll still be a clusterfuck, but at least it will be a hell of a lot better of a clusterfuck than the one that we live in right now. And that's my argument for voting for Joe Biden. And that's why I voted for Joe Biden. If you haven't voted yet, obviously, real quick, if you haven't voted yet and you're watching this stream, go vote right now. I'm not, like, I know, you like, oh, I'm an anarchist. I shouldn't be, like, shut the fuck up with that shit. Just go vote. Go do it. Like, if you live in, like, an area where the lines are going to be, like, 7 hours, fuck it. Like, who cares at that point? But, right, if you can vote, if you live in a suburb, if you're white, right, and you live in one of these suburbs, just walk in. It takes 10 minutes. For me, I voted the other day. Literally took me 15 minutes. Yo, when I went to go vote, I was fucking high out of my mind. They have these, like, it's like the DMV kind of, where you have these, like, little paths you have to walk around to go to, like, the stand to get your ballot, and then, like, you know, like, the little rope, like the movie theater. You know, like the movie theater, how you have those, like, rope separators things, right? I almost tripped over those. It was really bad. It was really bad. And then I voted for Joe Biden, so that's my day. American 1476. Here's the thing. Donald Trump is not going to do any of that. Joe Biden has promised to do all of those things. Now, I don't know if you're a gambler. I'm a little bit of a gambler. I would take a 15% chance over a 0% chance. That's just me. If I were betting, right, and the two options were 15% or 0, or 1, let's just say 1% chance that Trump does these things, I'm going to go with 15. Now, I think Joe Biden doing those things, assuming we get a Democratic Senate, which, by the way, I want to prime everyone. This is less about the presidency. This is about the Senate. This election, the Senate will decide what the next 2 years will be like. The Senate is so vitally important right now. The Senate is so fucking valuable. If the Republicans keep the Senate, then no, we're not going to get things like a $15 minimum wage. We might get decriminalized marijuana, because that can be done just from the executive branch. But we will not be getting things like a $15 minimum wage. The Senate. I voted for Cal Cunningham in North Carolina. If I were in Georgia, I would have voted for Warnock and Ossoff. Georgia is probably the most important state to vote in for Senate at this point. I mean, you got 2 races in there that are going to be very, very important. If Warnock gets 50%, that's huge. If Warnock gets 50% in today's Georgia special, that's huge. That's huge. People haven't finished voting, George Washington. Elections, like, results are useless until the polls close. Again, my schedule today, for those of you just joining us, my schedule today is doing Above It All right now. And again, I just want to say, I am doing Above It All on Anchor as well. So if you like audio podcasts, if you want to listen to, like, the full audio podcast, whatever, you can go to anchor.fm/aboveitall. And you can check out all the episodes from 980 up until this episode, including last week's episode that was pulled from YouTube. So if you want to go watch 1009, you can do so on Anchor. It's an exclusive on there for now. Which is a good episode, I thought. But, you know, gotta be safe. Obsidian Monolith. Do you think that Biden and Harris are going to follow through with their comments about marijuana legalization, decriminalization? I do think so, actually. I don't think they're going to do it on day one, like Bernie Sanders would have. Now, you have to understand, the drug and controlled substances thing, right? That is completely up to the executive. That is entirely up to the executive. They could, literally, they could have the bill drafted, and, like, they walk in at 12:04, right? Right after the inauguration, and they sign that. That could be what they did. Bernie Sanders promised to do that. That was one of his pitches. Now, do I think that they're going to do that on day one? No, I don't. But they don't need to rely on things like the House or the Senate for decriminalizing marijuana. So I do think that they will be able to do so. They might hold on to it when they need to, like, get a media buffer for victories. Like, they might hold on to it for, like, if they can't get a coronavirus relief. Oh, we'll just do this to get, like, bumped up in the news cycle. They might do that. But I do think that over the next 4 years, we will have decriminalization. I do think so. Without a doubt. If the election result... Okay, so another thing we got to talk about today is that Donald Trump will declare victory. Whatever happens, Donald Trump will declare victory. I know there's a memo saying if he's ahead on no. He will declare victory regardless. That's my guess. I think Donald Trump will declare victory by the end of today. Or let's say like by 6 a.m. tomorrow, right? Like, what do we think about that? George Washington, you are not cool, you're not interesting, you're not funny. If that were your position, then you would agree with abolishing the Controlled Substances Act, right? Which would decriminalize or legalize all drugs. That's your position, George Washington. If you don't think that the federal government should weigh in on what substances are controlled, then you should just abolish it. Which means that you advocate for decriminalizing all drugs in all states. Until the states, say Alabama, decides to pass their own Controlled Substances Act. Right? That's what you're advocating for? Whatever the outcome, how do you see the America is going to be fucked. I would be... Okay, so I don't want to be like a worrywart. I don't want to be like a, piece of shit. But I think there's a good chance that people are going to be hurt today. I think if we've had people willing to shoot and kill people at protests over the last couple weeks, in couple months, I think if that's a thing that's going to happen, I think that it would be shocking if no one were injured today. Now, I woke up a few hours ago, right? So I haven't checked all of the news yet, and I just wanted to stream ASAP. So it's possible that a lot of violence has already happened, and I just don't know about it. Right now it's 2:21 p.m. on November 3rd. But the idea that people can convince themselves that riots under a presidency are because of another person, that's tremendous to me. It's tremendous to me. And it's the same thing that they did with Martin Luther King Jr. It's like, oh, these protests aren't because of the bad policies of our state. These protests aren't because of inequality in government. These protests are because of that guy, that man over there. And this time we don't really have a Martin Luther King Jr. scenario. This is a very decentralized movement. And you can't just assassinate someone to get rid of it. And that's a huge thing compared to the 1960s and the 2020s. You could assassinate a couple people and curb the civil rights movement. There is no couple people right now. This is a bunch of young people who are sick and don't want to live in the world that their parents are living in, and that they're willing to go outside and fuck shit up, and they don't need someone who's a smooth talker to convince them to do so. These are feelings that are organically growing in millions and millions and millions of young people. This isn't something that people are hearing on TV or on the radio or at church. This is something that's deep within the generation of young people right now. People under 30, under 40 in a lot of instances. Right? So we're buckling up. Like, I'm telling y'all that I'm very nervous about the next couple months and the next couple years. Wopsturk says, don't you think both parties need each other in order to validate each other? Yes. My political goal in my lifetime, or maybe let's be optimistic and say by the time I'm 50, is to completely eradicate the Republican Party. In the next, 40 years, right, 30 years, I think it's very conceivable that we can completely destroy the Republican Party. We can completely destroy the conservative movement over the next 30 years, I think. And if to do so, we go to the Democratic Party, what happens right? When two-party control goes to one-party control. But the one party is a disjointed big tent party. At that point, it's basically a parliamentary system. At that point, you have, say, the squad, could be 50 people at that point. You can have the blue dogs, whatever, right? They're like 35 people. They're all their own little different factions or caucuses. At that point, it's almost like a parliamentary system. So my goal as far as electoral politics go is to destroy the Republican Party. I think that that's going to have so many net benefits. And once you've got a situation where both parties aren't parasitically feeding off of each other to stay in power, where you bring about the trope or the rule where people are more interested in their power within the party, where, like, compared to their power in general. This is why you see Democrats go for Hillary Clinton instead of Bernie Sanders in the 2016 primary, because they wanted to preserve their rank in the Democratic primary, in the Democratic Party, even if it gave them less power in the government, because Republicans swept them in 2016. So, yeah, like, we need to do our best to convince people, and I think with this generation, it's going to happen, that conservatism is a failed ideology. It is failed. Conservatism has failed. The Republican Party has failed, and it just must be gotten rid of. Dusty Scarlet, if you think that it's violent to vote people out of office, if voting is violence to you, I mean, you're not going to like what the outcomes are, the alternatives. Let me just tell you. If voting for Democrats instead of Republicans is so scary to you that you call it violent and shameful, I mean, that's just pure dullardry. The eradication of people? What? The party. Do you not know what the party is? Oh my god. I can't. These people, I'm so sorry I'm getting distracted by the dullards. Jesus. I also would love to destroy the Democrat Party. Damn right. But here's the thing. The Republicans are way less popular. They have a way lower ceiling. If you destroy one party, you destroy both parties. When you get rid, and you just have one party control, but it's not a situation where it's like a rigid ideological one party control. If you've got Democrats like Joe Manchin that are to the rightist, and then people like, you know, AOC that are to the leftist at this point in time, maybe, you know, Cory Bush, you know, whatever it would be in 30 years from now. Right? That gets rid of the Democratic Party. That gets rid of any cohesion. Because there's no need for cohesion. What party would you see in this instance? You would see Democrats. The idea is to take over and parasitically, as socialists, as communists, as anarchists, electorally speaking, we need to parasitically take control. Oh, Democrats, to answer your question. What party would I like to see in office? Democrats. I'm advocating for the destruction of the other party. That party needs to go away. But we need to take control of the Democratic Party because they're letting us. The squad is going to be almost tripled after tonight. Right? It's going to be doubled as a minimum. And we might get a triple. We might get an actual caucus of like 10 to 15 people in the next Congress that have similar politics to AOC. And that's huge. Right? And you go that another 2 years. Let's, you know, say we pick up another 10 by 2024. That's 20 people. Once you get to 20 people, you can start blocking things. You can start, and then you can get 25, 30 people in Congress, which we're on a path to. I don't know. That's big, and that can really help a lot of people. George Washington, has it dawned on you that you will be killed for what you're trying to do? You're actively saying you want to destroy the What? Okay, so voting for Democrats over the course of 10 years is going to get me killed? Dude, these people are crazy. And this is what I'm saying. You get people on the live stream, they just don't speak English. They just are living in such a different reality where voting for Democrats in their eyes is like equivalent to murder. And maybe this goes into like the abortion thing, I don't know. But it's really weird that you can have these bizarre aliens that are convincing themselves. They are absolutely certain that what they're saying is true. That if you vote for Democrats, and if Republicans get voted out of office, that is equivalent to murder. It's weird. How is it harsh? I want to get rid of the Republican Party. The Republican Party should be destroyed. How is that ridiculous? If you don't understand what that means, you're being purposefully obtuse. You're not being a real person. George Washington, I'm sorry you can't understand nuance and that you don't like me explaining my politics in depth, but you should say vote for Democrats instead of, if that's what you meant, instead of become a parasite and eradicate both parties. No! Vote for Democrats is short term. Voting for Democrats has gotten us nothing over the last 30 years. We need to not only vote for Democrats, but we need to join the Democrats, and we need to parasitically leech off of their ballot line. We need to win their primaries, and we need to beat out their old losers like Elliot Engel or Joseph Crowley. That's what we need to do. Voting for Democrats has fucked us up since Bill Clinton. We've been voting for Democrats in 92, right? 96. And then Obama comes in. Like, it's been like 30 years, and we've gotten jack fuck all. So no, it doesn't. We don't just need to vote for Democrats. We need to destroy these parties as they are today. We need to get rid of all of these ancient rules that are only there. We need to get rid of the Constitution. To be honest with you, the Constitution needs to be eradicated. It needs to be destroyed. That's a longer term goal. I don't think we can do that in the next 30 years. Maybe 60. Maybe by the time I'm 100, we could get rid of the American Constitution. But I'm starting a little smaller. I say we get rid of the parties. We make things a lot more fluid, more like a parliamentary system. Dude, I don't see this thing about Republicans being in power. What does that mean? So George Washington, I say we get rid of people that think like you. So you're saying you want to kill individual people. I'm saying we need to hold parties accountable. And you are saying you want to kill individual people. How do you convince yourself that this is an honorable position? You are advocating for murder because I want to vote out Republicans. What? Hello, Neatfar Reality. Agreed. And the white-collar criminals need to face real... Trump needs to go to prison. Trump needs to go to prison for what he's done. Mike Pompeo, prison. Ben Carson, prison. All of these fucking goobers. The McMahons, throw them in jail. All the aides, all the advisors, all the secretaries, throw them all in fucking jail. Lock the key. or throw away the key, whatever. This is a criminal presidency founded by a criminal. You need to go to prison for what you are saying you want to do. You are an enemy of America. What? I should be sent to prison? See, here's the thing, George Washington. The Constitution that you're defending, you want to destroy the Constitution? Lets me say this. The Constitution has a protection of free speech. So what you are saying is you want to abolish the Constitution, which makes you a hypocrite. I'm saying, let's get rid of the thing and replace it with something better. I am saying, right, like, let's upgrade, because this shit was written by slave owners, to something that's not written by slave owners. Chile can do it. Why can't we? It's not treason, dude. It's free speech. I know you're triggered. Actually, no. That's treason. Having political goals for 50 years in the future is treason. It's like, these people think they're cool. Like, this is not a popular ideology. Like, that's the thing. 2018, Democrats got more votes on an off-year election in a fuck of a long time. This was a record-setting election in 2018. 2020, Texas is a toss-up state. What? The Republican Party is not popular. Where are you getting this idea that there's going to be a conservative supermajority? Where are you getting this idea that we should vote for Republicans and get rid of Democrats because that's going to be easier? Where do you get that idea? Democrats are losing a generic congressional ballot line by 10 points. Where is this idea? Where is it coming from? There are no results coming in as we speak. There will be no results to this election for weeks. The result, George Washington, is the sum of all the votes. That is the result. If you want to say current vote tallies, okay. We can extrapolate off of current vote tallies, but we cannot extrapolate off of results. There are no results. There is a result, singular, which is the sum of all the votes. You don't flip a result by counting more votes. You don't change the result by counting more votes. You achieve the result by counting more votes. I'm not dropping the semantics because you're saying you want me to die because I think black people should not be killed by police and because I think transgender people should have healthcare protections. You are saying that should get me killed. And now you're talking about how, oh, semantics. What? Sorry, buddy. No. Yeah. You saw Donald Trump at rallies, no American flag in sight. You see the thin blue line flag. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, is waving around a desecrated, graffitied on version of the flag and waving it as if it's the American flag. That is treason. If you want to talk about treason, that is treason. The President of the United States not proudly waving his flag for his country at his rallies and instead waving a flag with the thin blue line. That's disgusting to me. As an American citizen, as an American, that is despicable behavior. Zaldo, are you talking to me? Zaldo says, your ignorance. I gotta read out the comments because I'm now doing this as an audio podcast. So I gotta read out all the comments. But I'm ignorant. What am I ignorant about? You disavow me, George Washington says. We disavow you. Well, guess what, buddy? You don't get to decide who is American and who is not American. That's not your jurisdiction. If you want to decide that, run for office. Wop Sturk says, I'm curious, Cyberdemon, is the group more important than the individual? I don't know what that means. If that's like a weird first principle, like quiz riddle or something, that doesn't really mean anything. We live in a society. If you want to go live out in the woods and do your own thing, that's great. And I think you should be able to do so. But going to the grocery store and giving elderly people at the grocery store a deadly virus because you don't want to wear a mask because that's infringing on your personal individualism, I'm sorry, fuck that shit. Put the fucking mask on. Do your fucking part. If you want to grow your own food on a mountaintop, right, and have a little farm and do your completely own thing, get your own energy, that's fine. Go for it. But if we live in a society, we need to deal with the society as it is. We are only as strong as our weakest links. And right now, that's Trump supporters. I think group ideals should be there to maximize individual ideals. I don't think they're at odds. We should strive and organize together to achieve the best possible situation and scenario for each of us. What's good for the group is good for the individual. If we all put our tax dollars together and say we're going to deal with healthcare as a group, and that way people don't spread deadly disease as much, that's good for the group. And it's also good for the individual. Because now I don't have to deal with going outside and worrying about getting a deadly disease. Because we've already dealt with it. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So, I don't know. But yeah, today is election day, dude. This is crazy. I feel like it's just been it's just been crazy. The last few months, especially. I had no idea we would... if you would have asked me 2 years ago, would there be police stations being burned down and gun battles in the streets in a couple years, I would say probably fucking not. I would say probably not. So, the last 2 years, ever since the midterms, it's just been fucking crazy, dude. And this is the culmination. This is the culmination of everything. It's just nuts. I'm nervous as hell, man. I am nervous as fucking hell right now. I'm so scared. For this country, for myself, for my friends, for my family, for the people that watch me. I am so nervous because I literally could not possibly begin to predict what will be happening in this fucking society. At this point. I mean, you've got people like George Washington in the chat room openly saying that they want the person streaming to be killed for their beliefs. Trump supporters are just going into people's YouTube streams saying you should die for what you're saying. Right? And they're just doing that. And they do that in person. And they harass people and heckle people in person. And say that we want to kill you because you will vote for Democrats. And then they'll call you the person that's crazy. The projection is phenomenal. The way that the human experience can be led astray to such a degree. Do you advocate to kill your own people because they slightly disagree with you is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. No, they're not trolling Wopsterk. They've been doing this shit for weeks. And John Lavos, better be dead than Democrat. That's not funny. No you is the common response here. And that's the thing, is Donald Trump, if he doesn't go to prison, if Donald Trump doesn't go to prison, you think he's going to stop doing rallies? You think Donald Trump is going to stop doing rallies? come on, man. We're going to have to deal with the Trump cult no matter what for the next couple years. The next 4 or 5 years are going to be pivotal. The only way that we can get rid of this Trump cult is to get rid of the Republican Party. We need to cut off the head of this snake. The Republican Party gave birth to Donald Trump, which gave birth to these people like George Washington in the chat room that are saying that we want to kill Democrats, right? That's weird. And we need to get rid of the Republican Party. That's not going to make these people go away, but it's going to hold the institution responsible, accountable. It's going to hold the institution responsible, like, in front of the crimes that they have committed, right? The wars that they have started, the mass death in this pandemic alone. But 40 to 70,000 people a year would die because they couldn't afford preventable disease care. Their diseases were preventable, but they couldn't afford the solution, and they were culled from this earth. These institutions need to be held to account for those crimes. And that is how we begin. That's what they did in Nazi Germany afterward. They held those motherfuckers to account. They said the state committed these crimes and must be roundly condemned, and these individual officers and commanders who organized these crimes must also be roundly condemned. Does that mean that every person who voted for the National Socialist Party or whatever the fuck should be condemned or destroyed or killed? No, of course not. People can change. People can be rehabilitated. Am I saying that, like, Uncle Nancy or whatever the fuck, or Uncle whatever, right? I'm sorry. But whatever, like, whoever in your family should be sent to a re-education camp or no. But the people who taught them those ideas, they can be sent to prison. Donald Trump can be sent to prison. Steve Mnuchin, all of these secretaries. Rick Perry, that guy is the damage he did to the climate, it's going to kill so many people. It's killed billions, trillions, actually, of innocent wildlife, of non-humans, on these wildfires that the climate has destroyed. The damage done to the earth, the damage done to the future of the human species by the Republican Party over the last 100 years, in the last 50 years. We are going to be studying this moment in time for the rest of human history. This is pivotal. The Republican Party must be held accountable for its crimes against humanity, its crimes against human society globally, with the war that we've inflicted, toppling almost every government in South America, toppling many governments in the Middle East. All the damage that we've done. The United States of America is the only country that has ever utilized a nuclear bomb on another country. The United States of America has used nuclear weapons on civilians. And that damage cannot be undone. And the United States of America is at fault. And the institutions that let nuclear bombs, not just one, but 2 nuclear bombs, murder hundreds of thousands of innocent people. The institutions that led to that possibility need to be dismantled. No human being should have jurisdiction over such grave consequences. There should be no such thing as nuclear weapons. It's ridiculous. And I know the thing is you're gonna say Democrats did that. Yes, Truman did that. Yes, that's correct. But this is a broader condemnation of the United States of America. This is a condemnation of everything that has happened, that has culminated up until this point. And again, in 300 years from now, when the kids of 2369 are going to be reading in their history books, how did they let this happen in the 1940s, and then in the 50s and the 60s, all the way up until 2026 or whenever we transition to a new era, whatever. How did they let this happen? We, collectively, get to decide how we are represented in history. We can say that we fucked up, but at the end of it all, we held them to account. At the end of it all, they were punished for their crimes against humanity. George W. Bush should not be painting on his deck. He should be in a prison cell. Dick Cheney should not be getting 15 heart transplants and shooting his friends in the face. He should be in a jail cell. These people have done so much damage. Henry Kissinger should not be chowing along with friends and family. That guy should be rotting away in a prison cell. These people, these architects of so much evil, are still alive right now. For being responsible for murdering millions of people, they're still alive and they're free. Yet, we've got people being killed in the street because they're going through mental health crises. We've got people being murdered by police. We've got little children being shot at by cops because they're screaming in their mom's house. 13-year-olds being shot by cops because they're a little too loud. How did we let this happen? Who are the people that paved the way for this? Niatfar says, a nuclear strike ordered by a president is the only order that has no checks because it comes down to a matter of minutes. There is no oversight or consensus required. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. There's something interesting, actually, because we started experimenting with nuclear devices. First of all, in the 1960s, I want to say, maybe the 70s, a nuclear bomb almost detonated in North Carolina. So that's fun. Right, like that's interesting. I forgot where I was going with that, but you know, nuclear bombs are just evil. We need to ban those motherfuckers. The idea that we spend so much money on ideas to kill each other instead of helping each other is absurd. The idea that we'd rather kill each other instead of working on fixing this pandemic, like, is just ridiculous. The idea that the United States of America is running away from the global community and not letting American citizens reap the benefits of the global community's findings on treatment for the coronavirus. It's absurd. It's absurd. The world that we live in right now is just, it's scary, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the future. This winter, so many people are going to die. And I am so scared. For people that I know, for people in my family. So scared. I think that the idea that developing and utilizing nuclear weapons is bad. I don't give a shit where they use them. Especially when you actually look into the history Japan was already about to, like, run out of resources and lose the war. Right? Threatening the nuclear bomb. Right? The second bomb, first of all, the second bomb is indisputable evil. Indisputable evil. They were going to quit within days after the first bomb. The second bomb is indisputable evil. But the first bomb, somehow it's disputable evil. But they were already running out of resources. And also, the bomb just killed innocent people. If it was like a military base or something, in, like, I don't know, the middle of, like something that didn't kill hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians, that's a different scenario. But it killed, vaporized hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. Nuclear bombs are disgusting. They're evil. I don't think the United States will be headed toward a Christian theocracy. I don't think that we will let that happen. Torin says, we are headed towards a Christian theocracy in the same way Iran is an Islamic theocracy. I don't think that we do have, like, the courts, the judiciary. Donald Trump has permanently destroyed those. They're gone. We need to eradicate the judiciary, the judicial branch. That needs to get rid. We need to get rid of that whole thing. Right? We need to get rid of all that. But, right, like, that's really the only part that Christians have mass control over. And I really don't think that the American people will let abortion be federally banned. Like, in the long run, I think that will lead to the abolition of the Supreme Court. If that kind of stuff, and if they start doing stuff like knocking down, like, climate change proposals, if they start doing, like, all the things that we know that they are going to do in the next couple of years, the things that they are going to do, I don't think that people are going to accept that. I don't think so. I really don't. Alright, Wopsterk, thank you for chatting. I'll see ya. Are you leaving because I mentioned abortion? Is that why you're leaving? Or? Because that's a weirdly constructed sentence. Education is the key. Yeah, I agree. I think religion as institutions need to be eradicated as well. Get rid of religion. The religion of Christianity, especially, for all the crimes that people have done and committed in the names of Christianity, Jesus, we need to condemn those power structures. That is, get rid of it. I don't know. Why is Christianity evil? The Crusades, first of all. Burning people alive, heavily influenced by religions. I'm just singling out Christianity, but I think all religions need to go. I just don't see the use in them. I don't. Am I saying that you shouldn't be religious? You can do whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. And I don't think less of you, necessarily. A lot of people in my family and a lot of my close friends are religious. I don't care. But me personally, I think the institutions of these religions, look at all the Catholic priests with the underage boys. Look at that alone. Ridiculous. I don't know. People have done so much in the name of religion and God. Like, you can believe in whatever you want to believe, but when you start trying to enforce that on other people, it becomes a problem. And when you have power structures that are based around forcing that on other people, it is a huge problem. William McCaw. Andrea, you're, Y-O-U-R, no apostrophe E, a moron, to be real honest. I love when people do that, like, You're dumb. Why are you are dumb? DUM? It's just like, it's perfect. It's perfect hilarity to me. We need a Constitution Convention. I agree. We need to radically redraw the Constitution, get rid of it, start over, or give like another 50, 60 amendments. Whatever is easiest to accomplish. John Lavos, what about jihad? Jihad just means like a religious crusade. I'm against all of it. Islamic, Christian, Jewish, as rare as that is. It all, it's all bad. People doing it in the name of Scientology. Get rid of it. Turn it off. Get rid of it. We don't need it. We just don't need religion, I think. It's distracting. Religion provides a great sense of community, but it sucks all the energy and resources out of these great senses of community, in my experience. And especially when you look at like the Bible Belt and all of these pastors in like, southern United States, like just steal a bunch of money and like, like convince a bunch of people. Like look at the evangelical movement in this country. Look at the damage that they've done just right now. A modern day crusade against people. It's ridiculous. I don't know. We need to get rid of these institutions. There's a lot of really, really old institutions that exist in this world that probably don't need to. That's exactly correct, Pork Chop Express. Trump used abortion-based research for his treatment. Absolutely correct. The world needs something like a church, like a gathering place that can give hope. And yes, exactly. I agree. That's the thing. But the religion is distracting. Like there's a lot of good churches out there. There's a lot of great churches out there, and there's a lot of great religious people, and I love them. And there's a lot of them in my family, and I love them. And there's a lot of my friends, and I love them. Right? But the overwhelming majority, in my experience, aren't as good. Like again, when you look at these rural churches that convince everyone that abortion is literally murder, when it's not, factually. Right? The same people that are going to be like, oh, look at your biology when talking to transgender people are going to think abortion is murder? It's like, what? I thought you were a biological scholar on one issue, but on the other one? It's not, it's weird. These people have all these contradicting beliefs, right? But it's just like, I don't know. It's weird that you can convince so many people to do so many bad things in the name of God. I think that's scary. And I think the whole tenets of Christianity and stuff are kind of spooky as well. Like the idea that like God is keeping score on all of your actions and you need to like hit a certain threshold to get into heaven, otherwise you get burned alive for all eternity or something. It's weird. It's weird. Like we're at this point where like the younger generation right now is super skeptical of every like institution. Right? But like the older people are still knee deep in these institutions. And we just yeah, I'm going full new atheist, Brooke. Is this a new atheist stream? Yes, I'm a new atheist. I'm a new atheist. And you? New atheist, that's me. But no, for real, like we just need to get rid of all of these things that are holding us back for no reason. They're legit holding us back. Like, are we really going to destroy the planet and murder trillions of animals and lead a new mass extinction because a piece of paper says that there's a contract between a government and a corporation that allows that to occur? We're going to let a piece of paper murder trillions of animals? Destroy ecosystems beyond recovery? So far we are. And I think we shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know how we get there, but I think we need to get there. So pretty soon here, I'm going to end this ep. Pretty soon. Again, reminder, I'm on anchor.fm. If you want to get the audio versions of my podcast, you can listen to it at anchor.fm/aboveitall, including last week's episode that was pulled. I will shortly, in a couple more minutes after I turn the stream off, I will be doing a UV Max run-through of Ancient Aliens. And we will start paying attention to the news in real time. So, that's going to be fun. Pork Chop Express. New atheism killed being able to call oneself an atheist. Thanks, Harris. Dude, I'm going to be honest right now. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Just give me a hot second here. In fact, give me a cold second. The second's a little too warm for me. If you could cool it off a little bit, I would appreciate that. Just give me a hot second. I'm going to show my new atheism credentials. Okay, so first up, we got God is not great. This is the shit I read in high school, buddy. How religion poisons everything. God is not great. My man. You love to see it, old Chris. You love to see it. I recently packed up my books from when I was a teenager. I have like them all like right in here, and I did this over the past like week. I've been collecting a lot of my stuff and like packing it up. Here's another one of my credentials. End of Faith by Sam Harris, buddy. Let's go. This is what I was reading when I was like 17. Oh my god, yo, I still got a bookmark in here. I got a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Hell yeah! See? This is the shit I was into fucking 5 years ago. Let's go! Right, what else do I have in here? I might have the God Delusion in here. I hope I do. Okay, so just so you know that like I wasn't a complete piece of shit, I was balancing it out with Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, renowned anarcho-Saganist. I balanced it out. I wasn't complete cringe. When I was a teenager, I balanced it out. I had some balance. Yeah. I don't want to dig down in there. But yeah, there's a little bit of my what I was doing back in the day. Yeah, a reminder, Carl Sagan had a complete alternate identity that came out after he died. His wife told the world about this. He had an alter ego that he would pen essays and published articles under called Mr. X, and his entire life he did not no one knew who that was. And then his wife like said afterward, oh yeah, by the way, that was him. And all the articles were about how weed can like save humanity, and it was like, oh, it's so good, man. It's so good. So yeah, I balanced myself out when I was a kid. Had a little bit of Richard Dawkins, a little bit of Carl Sagan, a little bit of Sam Harris. You know, you pepper those in there, and you get this. And you get this. You get this. So I'm the culmination. But yeah, so that's a little fun. And so yeah, again, I will be doing Ancient Aliens. And we'll be starting. I'm going to get a few like results screens, and in between levels in Ancient Aliens, I'm gonna refresh the pages. So give me like 30 minutes. I'm gonna make a layout. I'm gonna get all of this. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get all of this stuff set up, and that will be about 4, maybe 5 hours. And then after that, we will do God Damn It, and that will just be a live election results broadcast with myself and Chukamadicum. If someone wants to come on the show, we might do like live calls. If you want to like come on and do like, you know, like ask a question for like 5 minutes or something, we might do that tonight. So, throwing that out there. We're going to do and that's going to be going basically as long as we stay up. As long as we stay up, we're going to be doing that stream. So it could be 8 hours. I'm willing to go. I don't know if I think Chuk said he might go to bed at like 6 a.m. is a hard limit, but we'll see how it goes, right? So again, this is going to be great. If you want to come in, ask a question, give us a scoop. We're going to be taking live calls. I'm just throwing that out there. So, thank you for watching. Above it all, 1010. I will be live again tomorrow morning for 1011. And again, you can watch my podcast or listen to my podcast on Spotify and Anchor FM. And yeah, so join my Discord. You can find the link to my Discord on speed.dog on my website. Join my Discord. That will be probably where we'll be taking questions or calls. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Discord or StreamYard. I'm not sure. We'll see. Well, I'll figure that out. But either way, thank you. I will be back in about half an hour with Ancient Aliens, and we'll start getting some vote tallies on there. We'll start maybe piecing together an electoral map. So, thank you for watching. I will see you very shortly.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ,
And he's like this, and we will, and he's like this, and we will, I need water. And he's like this. Help me, I need water. Help me, I need water. This is on live television. Help me, I need water. Help me, I need water. Help me, I need water. Help. And this is on live television. 8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company. Burmese. 8 months after.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole. Versus being a socialist hellhole.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
No good. No good.
Antifa exists. Antifa exists. Antifa exists. Antifa exists.
Dumb people, liberal people.
You're dying. That's true. And it is what it is. You're dying. That's true. And it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Is what it is. Is what it is. What it is. What it is. You're
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, you know, the truth of the matter, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more, you know, the truth of the matter, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan. And it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. Really? And I resent.
Are you talking about Hunter? Are you talking about Hunter?
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Beau. I know Hunter.
Hunter
got thrown out of the military, thrown out, dishonorably discharged, didn't have a job until you became vice president.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.